she'll be like, Issy, you want some snacks? And she be having so many good candies and shit at her desk. So you right, Hoop. I miss but don't miss.
Nigga had Pop-Tart bites, Reese's cups, Skittle packs, Starburst, all that shit.
I went to Jordan game this week. They had a game, you know what I'm saying? Social distance, kind of crazy. But a nigga got hurt out that bit. A nigga got hurt. Old school behind me. Old school black dude, probably 70, 80. Oh, man, just get him some water. He'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Let him walk it off.
That made me think about the conversation for last week. Man, I'm talking about that nigga said, this man on the ground rolling and shit. Just get him some water. He'll be all right.
Get him off the field.
But the crazy thing is, I guarantee you he got up and walked off that bitch.
Oh, you know, them little kids always be. They like the NBA player. They be that.
So, with that being said, was he right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got up. Probably all you needed was some water. Hey, damn, boy.
Mm-hmm. A little sip of you, all right. It's crazy how we look at him like, that's crazy. This nigga really said, give him some water for his broke leg. And it worked.
Right, it worked.
Yeah, I'm talking
He's
about
no longer injured.
Yeah, it was some shit I was wondering this week, too. It was some random shit that came and used who they talking about water, so it made me think about it. Do niggas still drink Kool-Aid?
I was just thinking that, fool. I promise you, this week, I was just thinking that.
No, they don't. They shouldn't. I had Warren.
About that much sugar.
Right, when Warren left, fool, he had one of them Kool-Aid little freezies in the fucking freezer. So I was like, man, shit, he ain't gonna never come back and drink it.
Them not good.
Go ahead. Let me go ahead and drink. I let it melt first, but I let it melt first, so it could be like Kool-Aid. Man, I drank that shit and immediately spit it out. It's a cup of sugar.
Yeah, but them ain't good.
That ain't the Kool-Aid.
I'm talking about the picture, nigga. You put that bitch in there and you got them first two stirs.
It's hard to stir that bitch.
The first two stirs, and then you get that bitch to going. Boy, that shit was nothing but sugar and water, goddamn, with a little flavor in that bitch.
But I ain't made Kool-Aid in so long. It gotta be 10 years.
Man, that tropical punch was the shit, boy.
If you drinking that Kiki Poo and shit.
That's what I'm finna say. That Birmingham Kiki Poo.
That's all it is.
That's all it is Kool-Aid.
I mix 6 packets. I don't know what the flavors. It's gonna be grape, orange, red, green,
brown,
green.
Tropical rainbow Kool-Aid.
Nigga, shit gonna look like Incredible Hulk. It's gonna taste good though. Shit. Making Incredible Hulk. I ain't gonna never just make one flavor.
Hey, but getting something to eat like a Wing Plus or something, whatever, be in that little red shit. It be red, but it come out like this.
When Martin came down here, he was like, man, take me to an off the grid spot. I was like, well, he wanted some wings. So at first we pulled up the Zaxby's just randomly because he wanted wings. And I was like, no. Come on. We went to Exotic, right? So we in Exotic. He was like, man, what is that juice in there? I said, I don't know, but get any one of them. You're going to enjoy it. That nigga was drinking that shit. And like, oh my God, I want a refill.
You're going to have diabetes in the morning.
That shit ain't got no name on it. Whatever be in that little thing.
It be red.
Whatever be in that little thing. No,
what flavor that is? What flavor that is? Blue. Blue is the flavor.
Some lemonade, goddamn. The shit be good as fuck, boy.
I don't know who came up with Kiki Poo, but it's at every Birmingham hood spot. Like, I don't know who's selling it or...
Like, who is the originator? The CEO?
Yeah.
That gotta be somebody's name who created that shit. Just got to be.
No, that's a hood nickname. Came up. What that is? Nickname. Ooh-wee. Like wet? Ooh-wee sauce? That's that ooh-wee sauce. But I don't know what that sauce was, but that shit used to be good as fuck when Wet put that shit off that grill.
Wet put all kind of shit in his spaghetti. 19 meat spaghetti.
That nigga had meatloaf.
That nigga called it 12 meat spaghetti, boy. That shit good.
I can't even name 12 meats. He got them all in there, though.
When you looked at it, it was ground beef, Connecticut sausage, and pepperoni. He mixed that bitch in one big ass gumbo pot. Dinner ready.
Shit was good as fuck, though. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Shit good as fuck.
I ain't gonna lie. Shit was good. I put some sugar in my shit, though.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's one thing. I don't put sugar in.
Grits. We were talking about McDonald's yesterday, and the last time we ate it, the last time I think I ate at McDonald's, Mark knocked my hamburger out my hand on the intramural football field.
Bro, you done had McDonald's
since then, nigga. That was
come on now.
I swear to God, I can't think of another time that I did.
Yeah, man, you'd have probably took Taylor over there and got some nuggets or something.
Taylor don't eat them nuggets. She eat Wendy's nuggets. That's what I'm saying.
She never experienced them?
She's never had McDonald's.
Boy, I had McDonald's about a month ago.
Never. It's been a while for me, though.
Every blue moon, I'd be like, man, I want that nasty ass McDonald's.
I'm going to either get a chicken sandwich with some Mac sauce or a Big Mac. Gotta put the Mac sauce on the chicken sandwich. That shit good.
Yeah, but that nigga made me
hell
mad.
Nah, I get Big Macs with no Mac sauce.
You don't eat mayo. That's what. So you missing out though.
I'm with you, bro.
But do you eat the mac sauce, Todd?
No.
Y'all
$1,000 dressing or whatever.
Yeah, that's $1,000. Stop calling it mac sauce. It's
Y'all might as well go
$1,000.
to Rallies or somewhere else.
I like them too.
If you're not gonna eat the mac sauce, there's really no need to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, that nigga don't like no condiments. It don't matter what condiments.
Nigga, the Big Mac is still good without the mac sauce.
We went to Wendy's last night. He was mad at the girl. I bet this bitch put mayo on my burger. I bet she put mayo on my burger.
She didn't. So that was good.
Here we go.
Because they be fucking up.
Here we go. You tuning in to the Dummies Podcast. I'm Stop.
I'm Joe.
I'm Todd.
I'm Hootie, nigga.
And we back like we never left, because like we said every week, we never leave. It's episode 97. Yes, almost to that 100th century mark. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be a great day. We almost back to podding in person. Podding in person. I like the way that's
Podding in person.
Podding in person.
Podding in person.
Yeah, we almost back to that. We here as always. Shout out to all our people on the front lines, man, who doing a hell of a job, man, during the pandemic. The numbers still seem to be decreasing slightly, but still be safe. Practice social distancing when you can. Wash your hands. Wear your mask, so we can maybe get out of this, man. We seeing some signs of normalcy coming back. We saw college football kicking off this week and all of that different stuff, man. Salute to those boys. Right. Middle school, high school. We hope everybody being safe and doing what they can during the pandemic. Been a rough, tough week. We're gonna get it all that. Where we at with it, Hoop?
Been rough and tough. Tough week. But like you say, shout out to the people on the front line. And I want to ask you, have y'all been sometimes basing y'all lives off the people on the front line? Like you'll see a nurse or a doctor or somebody, you'll see them actually out at places and actually out doing things and having fun. Because I've actually done that. Like I've been like, man, these nurses out here and they're on that front line, they're seeing this every day, but they're showing you how to do it, you know what I'm saying, effectively. So I've been just trying to get out a little more. Like we got out a little bit yesterday. Went to a few little gun spots. I think Todd made me a gun nut now. Me and my boy with the Hoover Tactical shot off.
That nigga said, yeah, they hit a thing. Goddamn.
No,
right.
Nah, I hit a whole lot.
Todd said that nigga hit the clip.
I did.
All he hit was the back wall back there.
I shot the clip off. It was on purpose.
Shot the clip off.
The little target ain't move at all.
It was on purpose, guys. That's a good aim. I had that good aim. Like that. Yeah, let me show these niggas I can hit the clip. But just then we went to goddamn. I'm glad we got out and got to see a little shit. We went to Bass Pro Shop. I think I found a new love with Bass Pro Shop. I see your love.
Tell you,
nah, I can't get it right.
Tell you, it's an amazing place.
Mm-hmm. But guns are expensive, man. Nigga almost dropped $1,000 on 2 goddamn guns. Like, I'm glad they didn't have bullets.
Nigga Hootie was in there like he was ordering at McDonald's. Let me get that one and this one.
Tell you.
And
I got a lot of Dummies Podcast money, huh, Joe?
If they'd have had the bullets, then goddamn might have got it. But they ain't had the bullets, so I ain't caught.
Then that nigga was finna buy a 10 millimeter. Who gets a 10 millimeter gun?
I don't know nothing about guns.
I ain't never heard of a nigga get a 10 millimeter.
I don't know nothing about guns. It was a 9, but it had 10 millimeter bullets.
Niggas seeing dummy money, man. You don't know where he getting it from.
They getting that big, but
no, man.
Big bag,
like
man.
Whole pandemic, I've been saving, and now we see that these crap. Get that out of there. We see that shit is getting crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to protect yourself, man. So I put some cameras up. I need some weapons in the house, you know. And that's the main purpose of it. It's just to, you know what I'm saying, protect yourself. Because shit getting crazy. But
you ain't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Hey, prepare yourselves. Because when I was in the gun store yesterday, that's all I've seen. I'm telling you. And they were in there and they wasn't looking. They were purchasing.
Well, you know, gun sales at an all-time high again.
Man,
that's why
you can't find ammo. Yeah,
but they say you know, this kind of happens every election year. You know, they stoke up the field, but I think something different this time, and we'll get into it. We've been saying it for weeks and weeks and months and episodes, but we'll get to it. But
they did this again, but because that's when I was talking to the guy, and no, I think Ty, you said like I want an AR. And he was like, good luck finding one, because anytime they think a Democrat gonna be in office, they think they gonna take away the ARs. Right. Yeah, so they go buy them all. Yeah. But you done? Who?
Yeah, I'm good.
And they didn't pass it, did it?
I mean, it started a conversation. I ain't had time. Yeah. Everybody got in there. Who's next? How about you, Todd? How was your week?
Oh yeah, man. Like my boy said, we went shooting yesterday, and that was real dope, man. It was just totally off the cuff, to be honest with you, because we were really just gun shopping and just browsing for real. And we were just happened to be in there and they had a gun range. We're like, man, fuck it, let's go and get in there and do it.
And Get Right was sad. He was like, man, where you at? I was like, we're at Whoop Tactical. Why you gonna go there first? I'm like, come on, man.
I would have came and shot. I like shooting guns.
Then Todd was like, I'm on the way. You know what I'm saying? I just thought we was gonna look at some shit and get out of there. Todd got there like, let's shoot.
Nigga left me. I tell you, bro.
Shut up.
Left,
Nigga went on a Dummies retreat.
I heard you was in Lowe's looking at microwaves and shit.
Man, boy, don't bring that shit up. Don't bring that shit up.
Sensitive topic.
Hey, yeah, bro. Like you know when you don't be ready to spend no money, and like you spent other money, and then all of a sudden like you gotta spend money on this. I'm like, oh fuck. Damn.
And then there's some shit for the house, so you can't goddamn cheapskate.
You can't cut the corner, nigga. It's the microwave. Goddamn, the bitch blew up.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you who else tricky too, man. Car sales people. Like I went and got my car serviced at the dealership like 2 weeks ago. Like Wednesday, I got a letter in the mail. Them niggas offering me $5,000 for me to trade my car in. And I don't know how
you qualify for a bit.
That's how they get you there.
Yeah.
And I was like, they were like, we need your type of car. And I was like, man, these niggas trying to.
They gonna get your ass down, give your ass $1.95. They just want to get you in that bitch.
Ain't gonna give you a Toyota Corolla.
No, this was pretty true. Cause like he hand wrote that whole like the nigga. I didn't fall for it because I want a truck. You know what I'm saying? My car being paid for.
Can I tell you a secret?
That's how you say your shit. I get you.
I don't want to say it out loud. They're not gonna give you that. Okay. They just want to get you in there, man. I've gotten 100 of those bitches, and I ball that bitch up and shoot it in the trash can. Yeah. They just want to get you in there. Like, there's no way they can tell you out the gate they're gonna offer you $5,000 for your car, and they haven't even raised it yet. Yeah. They haven't looked at it.
Right.
None of that.
And I get that. I get it, but I had that itch for that truck, man.
Go find out. Just go get numbers and shit.
No, they might give you $5 for it, but it's gonna have to be on a new car that's $45.
Right. I have a problem with that. I have no problem with that. Because that's what I said I was going to do anyway. Like, at this point, like, you're going to need a car. We don't have subways here, and I'm not taking the bus. So
I had Subway last week.
Buy what you want.
Full on?
Yeah.
So, might as well just get what you want. If you're going to pay for it anyway. I mean, you just kind of like when you're buying a house, you're going to pay for what you want. So
this is true.
But that was my week, man. Joe, what about yours, bro?
It's been a rough week with everything going on, but a pretty dope weekend. This is the first weekend I really got to see everybody for a long time.
Right.
Stock came over Friday, and we had our adventure yesterday. That was cool. Well, even though it was around DJ and didn't want to be, I told him I was giving him a 10-day goddamn quarantine.
You was around DJ?
Yeah, I was around DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You about to write that down?
You got some penicillin over there, son?
My boy,
you got to put it in your calendar. Huh?
What time you run DJ?
A little bit after, it was after me too.
We trying to get the pod in person, man. You guys can't, like, I'm like your parents now. You can't hang with that DJ fella.
Oh man, we went hung out at Grand Bohemia last night too.
I heard.
That's type of nigga that's type of shit that nigga suggests. The Grand Bohemia.
We were supposed to go to Rojo, whatever Rojo was, but they were closed.
DJ get on your nerves with his hangout.
Like, who picks that place?
Hey man, you want to kick it? Yeah, DJ,
how was
it doing? Oh man, shit, we gonna go to Venezuela tomorrow.
I liked it. I liked it.
Shit, who did pay? So it was extra straight. Tell how much the damn drinks was.
Again,
$50 goddamn dollars.
Five drinks.
Four
drinks.
Well, 3 drinks and a beer.
Oh yeah, because I got
$50. 3 drinks and a beer is $50. Come on, man.
We gonna have to pull Hootie's numbers, man.
I'm broke now.
What he doing, man?
Right. I was more than prepared to drink water in that place.
It's called the Grand Bohemian. So everything costs money now.
No, it just was one of those things. Like it was one of those things. Like Can't Get Right said, man. It was like one of those times where we was just all together. You know what I'm saying? All got to hang out, and when when this shit like that happened, buy a drink.
Hey, I'm glad that spirit came over you.
Hey man, yours gonna come. Shit, you gonna fire the grill up.
You're right. But it's gonna be a happy hour.
Okay.
Well, drinks. $3.
Get 3 of them.
Give me 8 of them.
Crazy.
Oh, stop. How was your weekend?
I was gonna be patient. Like you said, man, it was an up and down week, man. Emotional week, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It just seeing everything that was going down this week, man. All the different stuff that transpired throughout the week, man. It was hard not to kind of get wrapped up in it. Jordan had a football game this week on Thursday. I remember I kept sitting down and I was just looking around at everybody like, man, this is some crazy shit, dog. Like everybody got masks. They got different announcements about masks. They got signs and shit up about social distancing. And, we set distance from people. But regardless, when you go out, you're going to have to sometimes interact. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Logan Cup fell and the lady picked it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, damn. But like, how can you not be how can you not be a Samaritan? Like, I seen a pregnant lady pulling, Jordan Coach was pulling all this stuff off the truck. Like, I can't help that lady, man. I was like, you need some help. I grabbed the pipe, sanitize after that. But it's just, if you go outside, man, more than likely you're probably gonna have to interact at some kind of point. So I don't know. That was just kind of weird. But
wear your mask, man. Wear your mask. Like
Kangi Wright said, I came out Friday. I told you I was gonna start poking my head out a little bit. So I came out Friday. It was cool, man. I when I was in that nigga I was just looking around like,
this what it looked like?
Damn, I ain't been here since March. Somewhere where we went every week.
Every week.
Ain't been in that bitch since March. You know what I'm saying? So we caught the porch for a while. It was cool to just catch up, man. And just be around somebody that you ain't been around in a minute. So. Yeah, all in all, man, crazy week though.
Well, let's get into it.
I don't want to, man. Fuck.
The craziness of the week. The redundancy of the week. The redundancy of our life.
Where we even start with this week? First of all, man, R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman, man. Such a dope actor, man. Young, still in his just getting into his prime. We don't even know where this man was finna take his career, man, and take, all the things that he was involved with. The way he spoke, man, the character that he played is legendary in itself and is gonna live way past him. To see the little boys and little kids playing with their figurines and, having the Black Panther down, man, and on the ground and, like seeing their emotion, man, how it affected everybody, man. It was just after such a crazy week, it was such a blow to just look up and see that. And then to learn that this man had been diagnosed with cancer since he was 39 years old and still played all of these different roles and these movie roles and was still doing all that shit while smiling and uplifting so many other people. You know what I'm saying? Like that threw me out. Like that made me say like, wow, like I already respected him as a man anyway, but just to even see that put another level of respect on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you sitting there going, so many people like, have a cold or some shit and they want to, I can't
put it all on the Instagram.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this man was going through all of this and nobody even really knew, was getting ridiculed by some individuals about his weight loss internet. And all of that, not really knowing what this man was going through. So if you didn't get anything from that, I feel bad for you. If you can't see that sometimes you shouldn't judge people by, what they're looking or what they're going through, because you don't know what's really going on in them people's lives. So yeah, man, just RIP, man. That RIP. We lost the big one, man.
Right.
Man,
that's the real big one.
RIP Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. He was in Birmingham. That's where they shot some of the Jackie Robinson film. He did that. See, my home girl, I remember she was taking pictures with him. They did it at one of the baseball fields where the
Rick Wood.
Rick Wood. And all the other, movies and stuff he's been in. But I just thought about this and it might, like, I'm not saying this to be funny, but we all at that age where it's time to get checked for that.
Hey.
And how they check for it. And as black men, we don't want to get that finger in the butt. But
I already had a minor one. I ain't had the full scope, but I had a minor one because like a hemorrhoid before. So if you had a hemorrhoid before, they're gonna have to check that shit. And but they advise you to do it around age 50, depending on your health.
Yeah, I think they moved it down to 45. But
I thought it was in their 40s.
It's 45 now. But this is why it's scary, because this man was diagnosed with it at 39.
39.
Right.
Yeah.
We in that range. We there. We
Yeah.
in that range.
For
And so a lot of people are kind of advising, because I know at one point I was hearing, I've never asked about it, but I was hearing that somebody tried to, and they was like, oh, we don't do that till this age. But if you seeing somebody who was 39, can
you make them do it?
I don't know.
Well,
and if they do,
I'm sure you
could.
I'm sure you could. But then at the same time, like we always saying, get these second and third opinions. If you do it that first time, while you're in the tough with a doctor who didn't recommend you to do it or didn't really want to do it, do you feel comfortable with getting that and trusting the results of it?
I mean, I trust the results of it, but the only time
when I say that, what if they're like, nah, you're fine, nothing's wrong, you're totally okay? Are you going to trust that, or are you going to go somewhere else as well?
After they did the
initial,
after they did it, I'm gonna be honest, I probably would be like, okay,
right,
cool, great. But I think the only time they'll do it early for real is if it's a family history thing. Yeah, like if your dad had colon cancer or something like that.
That's crazy, but it just
shows you, like,
you
gotta go. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't go get that yearly checkup.
I've been doing that more so in my adult life than I ever thought I would have to. You know, right. As an adult, I do that now. I do go to the doctor often. Sometimes even for a little some simple shit. Yeah. Just
and you know they always say, as you know, as black men especially, that we're real hard headed about going to the doctor. And I think that we get that. That, to me, that's passed down. You see granddad and them like, oh, man, I ain't drank some water, I'm straight, or got headaches for weeks at a time, and just ignore that shit. And some of it is mistrust. Some of it is just, I think that sometimes as men, we don't want to know that something's wrong with us. We want to feel invincible. You know what I mean?
I'm glad.
That can be dangerous. Because imagine if you can catch something early. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think some of this shit be so bad in our community or on us because we don't even take time out to go even find out what's wrong with us. We see some shit and we be like, oh, it'll go away.
It's going to go away.
And then it might go away. And we be like, okay, cool, good. But that don't mean that something is not, you know, not wrong or something that you need to be concerned of or start taking steps towards fixing that issue.
I'm glad you said that, because even I will go, but I still have a huge mistrust. Like even sometimes, like even when I went got the COVID test, I got the results, but then the next day I'm still thinking in my head, was it real? Was it right? Was it a false positive? Now you're seeing all of these type of things. So I think I have that huge mistrust with it.
But I just think it's just us. We just got to learn to trust people, because, and not only that,
that's hard.
But that's true.
All this shit going on, even
but then it's still a me thing at the end of the day, because like when I was dealing with the blood pressure thing, right? Like in the beginning, I was just like, man, I'm just gonna work out. I don't want to take this medicine, man, because who knows the side effects of it? You know what I'm saying? But
you're gonna have that Shrivel Johnson,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It said all of that.
Shrivel Johnson.
They said all the
hate you, nigga, boy. You can't be serious for a moment.
but the crazy thing,
if you dead, you gonna have that Shrivel Johnson too.
This is very true. But that's one of the side effects. It messes up your libido, according to the doctors. Like, I ain't had a problem.
I was joking, but I was serious.
Like that's dead serious. Like that's a part of taking those pills. So it's just like, you know, so I was like, man, I'm not finna let this pill mess up my libido. I'm just gonna work out, drink water. Like we all understand.
Put a little water.
Like continue to drink water. Right. But it's a hereditary thing. So you get it from like your parents or whomever. So you gotta take it. And the last time I went to the doctor, it's been working. So it's just one of them things where you just gotta buckle up, knuckle it up, and just.
But I will say too that, you know, we do need to, you know, if you think something's wrong, go get checked out. And even if nothing's wrong, still go get checked out. You get routine maintenance on your cars. You do routine maintenance on house stuff. You do routine maintenance on everything. You should definitely do routine maintenance on your vessel, on your body, man, because you don't get another one of these. You can go buy a new car. You can go buy a new house and stuff like that, but you can't buy a new body. So you know, you can't.
Well, you can, but.
Well, no, you can buy parts. You can buy parts to a new body, but you can't buy a new body. But
or organs, or people be trying to give them away.
Something that you said to that I think do help is exercise. Sometimes just exercising, man, can change a lot. Like I had a lot of little knacks and getting out the bed, body aches and pains and shit that kind of went away just simply by exercising. Getting a little weight off you. You know what I'm saying?
Exercising and stretching.
Yeah. You know, so and all, man.
Rest in peace, Chadwick, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. A legend. About to do so many big things, had so many big different roles and movies that he played in, and
that nigga strong, man. Most like you, I know you said it already, but just most people we'd been known about their condition.
Yeah,
right.
Because they'd have been posting it. I have a cold. I'm in the hospital with wires. Like I don't like seeing that shit. Like when people post themselves laying up in the hospital with wires on, I'm gonna be all right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. It's just sometimes you can sense that it's attention seeking. Sometimes it's serious, but I think sometimes you can see it as attention seeking. Yeah, and I just think that he's strong for doing that, doing those movies with that condition and planning to do more stuff. You know what I'm saying? I even read something yesterday where he was going to see these terminally ill kids in the hospital as Black Panther, being strong for them while he's suffering
strong
with his own
uplifting
shit.
them while he going through his own thing. And that's why we say this all the time, and I love us here for this because we always champion this, but love on your people, man. You don't know, we don't know what day we gonna clock out. We don't know what day it's gonna be our time. So we gotta, love on each other, man, respect one another, put bullshit, if it's little bullshit, man, put it behind, man. Especially now, we can't really afford, man, as Black people, as family members, friends, we can't afford, man, to be divided in no form or fashion. We can agree to disagree in some spots, but overall, we have got to start figuring out our differences and squashing those differences, because a lot of times the shit is petty, minute little things, man, that we can get past if we get rid of some ego things, if we get rid of some bravado type stuff, or I gotta be right, or I gotta be the leader type stuff, man, and figure out how to do these, because we got some big challenges on the horizon. We just saw in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with Jacob Blake, 29-year-old man was shot 7 times in the back with police. 17-year-old, we saw the aftermath of that police shooting where protesters came out to basically display their anger or, protest against
supposedly protecting
social injustice. Protesters came out to stick up for it, basically say that we sick of this. And a 17-year-old kid, Kyle Whittinghouse, decided to come out and taking an opposite opinion. Ended up shooting 3 people, fatally killing 2 individuals. And we just see, man, like we're seeing so much. It was a shooting last night in Portland. They didn't really release much details yet. I'm sure it'll unfold as the week go on. But it was anti-Trump. It was protesters, and then it was a Trump supporting protesters out there as well. Clashes. They don't. There's no details yet on who was what and what side was what. But crazy, man. We see NBA players coming up and speaking out, man. I just want to get y'all thoughts, man, and see where we at, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all mental. It's just so much shit here. I know I'm all over the place with it, but this is what this week was. And I don't want to miss the opportunity to discuss it here on this platform.
Like I told y'all,
mentally drained with racial shit.
Like I told y'all, like I refuse to watch the video. Like it's getting too normal. It's damn near monthly. I'm tired of like somebody said, watching Black people being killed on internet should not be normal.
Yeah.
But one thing I do disagree with what you said. No, that was a white male, because if he was Black, he wouldn't be a kid. Like, no, you ain't no kid. Fuck you. You're a white male. You said the kid, the 17-year-old kid. I was saying how media, would change if he was Black.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been a kid. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was, but they wouldn't have said it that way. If a black guy did that, a 17-year-old Black guy.
They showed the similarities in the headlines.
They showed the head. I was just gonna say that.
compared to Tamir Rice and just different situations. So
they showed him trying to clean up graffiti. And
got him a nice
police
picture,
officer.
like he was driven to this point. He was a 17-year-old white rich kid, probably, man.
Yeah, I hate when
wasn't even from there. You talking about you going to protect somebody else's buildings? You're not even from there.
At 17, nigga, I wasn't crossing state lines by myself.
You went
hunting. That's privilege.
With a pistol, with a gun this long. Like, where's your parents? Yeah. His parents knew where he was at and agree with it probably.
It's just something to be said, man, that we can't figure out, like we can't figure out how to work together to get issues resolved. Like you got a 17-year-old kid thinking he need to come up there with a gun. 17-year-old white male thinking he need to come up there with a gun and shoot at people who were protesting something that they felt was unjust. We have a right to protest. How these shits is getting violent. It's a lot of different blame to place there, but the fact that people can't even go protest and say that they don't agree with something that happened to them, and then you got somebody coming out there with a gun to try to shut people up. Like
that's weird.
Like why is you even out there with a gun in the first place?
This is the most but here's the craziest part of it. These guys are white. Black people are just as outraged as if the person who were killed were black.
Yep. I see
these people that were killed are white
because they have the right to protest.
Yeah, because I don't think they realize. Like again, I don't think that they realize. I don't think that some people realize that
stories.
They think that it's just about black and black lives. Yes, we are saying Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter,
but if those people are rallying with us, like they're out there protesting, they sticking up with us, nigga, we gonna ride.
We gonna ride, right?
We gonna ride with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen so much outrage about some of the people who got shot, and like you said, they weren't black people.
They weren't black people.
Yeah, it's nonsense, man.
It's just a situation where wrong is fucking wrong.
Wrong is wrong.
That's it.
And see, that's been the problem the whole time. Only thing we're saying to you is we're treated wrong. We're not asking you to treat us different or give us more. We're asking you to treat us normal, like you would any other person, and treat it fairly across the fucking board. I don't think we're asking for much.
And then,
you came out there with your gun, you fell down running from some people, and then you want to kill them.
Double down, right?
But you know what you could have did? Stayed your ass at home.
Definitely.
You're not in any
why
danger.
are you even there?
You're not even a resident.
You came there for a confrontation. That's why you took that gun.
You're protecting business. What business? Who business? Who
asked
you? Who invited you? What business said,
you cross state lines.
My business.
You cross state lines to go protect somebody's business. I don't give a fuck what's going on in Tennessee.
And if you protect the business, go protect that business. Fuck is you doing?
Man, listen. Mm-hmm. Tucker Carlson of Fox News
made an excuse for him.
But the police chief of Kenosha, Wisconsin, he went out as far as to say,
I saw that.
If these people would have adhered to the city's curfew, this would have never happened. That's the excuse you want to run.
As well as if the white guy with the gun, if he would have listened to the city's
curfew. He out there too, motherfucker.
It takes two.
Man, the guy who committed the crime broke those same rules. So shut the fuck up.
Amazing how that
rule is void.
The police chief, bro.
He said a lot of wicked shit, though. He said a whole lot of little stupid ass, dumb ass shit.
Listen, he's the chief of police. So one thing,
he shouldn't be, and that was another one of the arguments. All of that shit got to be restructured, man. The police chiefs, the mayors, the senators, the governors, the cops themselves, the people who make the rules on how to be cops. All of that shit got to be refigured, man. And it's just all fucked up if you just put somebody else in the same position, this same old white man who's been thinking the same as this old white man, and you just put a new old white man, then you're gonna get the same old white policies.
And I'm glad you said that because at the
no offense, white people, but
the march on Washington, Al Sharpton said there's an initiative that they have proposed and is up for vote for Congress at this point. It's along those lines in what you were just saying, like the police being pretty much monitored by a higher source, and when stuff like this happens, investigations from an outside channel comes in to do something. But I looked it up, but it wasn't available yet. But I'll have more information on it come next week. But
yeah,
they do have something in place for that shit, though.
But also, like you were saying, I was seeing somewhere where there was like, it's some senators and congressmen that's been there 40 years.
40 years.
There's no way you should hold a position for 40 years. Like, think about how the world changed even from last year.
We talk
all the time what was normal when we was in college 10, 15 years ago.
I don't think you should be there 40 years if you're not updating yourself.
Right.
If you're not updating yourself and meeting the policies of your constituents or the people that are demanding change and justice, but yet you keep isolating that or ignoring that, then no, you shouldn't be in office. But a part of that,
who do you blame for that too, though?
That's what I was just about to say.
Voters.
A part of that goes down to people who vote or people who think that their local votes don't matter, people who don't care to pay attention to what's going on in politics, or people who say, "Oh, I ain't voting for them because I don't like none of them." This is what we're seeing.
If you do that, you're gonna get the same wrong person.
This is why it's so important to get involved. This is why it's so important to read and understand what this person that you're clicking that box for, understand what they're doing. Understand the policies that they have done in the past or present, that how they affect you in your daily life. But people don't care about that shit. They rather be entertained by sports or entertained by social media or entertained by these fucking stupid ass TV shows that come but meanwhile, the people who are making decisions on your everyday life, you could give a fuck less about, and you saying stupid shit like, "Oh, I don't care who win. None of them look like me, or none of them do what I do." And this is the shit that we're seeing. So then we get outraged. We see elections. You see cities where they got, well, take Birmingham, for example. You got 218,000 people and only 50,000 people fucking voted. Like, you see what I'm saying? So you're letting you're letting other people dictate what happens to you in your household and in your life, and you just sitting there like it don't fucking matter. But everything that you do is being dictated by these people that you let sit in those positions. Simple.
Hey, man, another simpler way of putting it. Try and get your 70 or 80-year-old grandparent to do some shit different than what they've been doing all
like use an
years.
iPad. Shit.
Oh boy.
They don't know how to.
That's all the politics.
FaceTime. These FaceTime nigga whole face be out the phone.
These politicians don't know how to use a 2020 life iPad. It's basically what it is. Come on, man.
Shouldn't be in there, simple, man. It needs to be a limit.
It's I had
a. It don't have to be. I ain't gonna necessarily say a limit, but if you know what I'm saying, if I'm 80 and I'm fluent and I'm, you know what I'm saying, going green and, you know, doing shit for the new age, keep me there. But
this might not compare, but I look at it like
it's gonna be rare. But
I look at it like rappers who stay around and update their music.
Right, it's rare, but
they can still be old and drop good quality music now. And then you got some rappers that drop some music and it sounds like way back then. They haven't updated themselves. They haven't conformed to new beats and new music. I hate to relegate it to that, but that's to me what it's like.
Yeah,
it may be easier to understand.
It's like, think about it. It's like football coaches. There's some football coaches that's been coaching a billion years, but they ain't still running the wishbone and shit. They have adapted to new times. So those are the simple forms we can put it in.
Lou Holtz would never make it right now.
Right.
I don't understand why
he got ran out because he wouldn't adjust.
Wing T, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't adjust. But I had a conversation, man, with an ex-teammate. It was a quick conversation. But this teammate basically was reacting to another black teammate of mine. And the white teammate was reacting to something that he posted. My black teammate basically was saying how he has 3 boys. They're all getting into their teenage stage and looking at shit that happens with the police and all of the police brutality things. We saw what happened in Wisconsin. You talked about the guy who had his hands already up on the ground and got drop kicked in the back. We see all those different videos, and he basically was just saying that he's fearful for his teenage boys in the world that they living in. And this teammate, decided to respond and basically, said that he hates what media is doing to black people, and he expressed his opinions on the shooting in Wisconsin. And I think what made me the most unsettled about what he was saying was he relegated our experiences, our real life experiences, down to the media, as if black people are just controlled by the media or the media makes us feel mad and the media makes us feel outraged.
No, nigga,
I'm specifically bringing this. I'm specifically bringing this up because I know that it's 4 black men, 5 with Dez because he's right here, that have had experiences that the media didn't have to tell them. We've talked about this before, but I feel it relevant now. Do y'all feel like the media has any say-so on how y'all feel about police reform or how y'all feel about being treated as a black person in this country?
Hey, there was not one camera in sight when the police tried to put crack on me and my black teammate. And it was some black cops out there, but it was actually the white cop who did it. But it's crazy how that entire system saw him do this and went along with it. This man literally, my teammate had a rest in peace, Ball Hog, man. Ball Hog had he had a crown bag on him. I don't know why the hell Ball Hog had a crown bag.
He was just,
but he had a crown bag on him. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was his wallet.
That was his wallet. He had his important shit in there, like for real, like his ID and all of that shit in there. And we meaning me, him, and like 2 black cops, 2 white cops, saw this white cop pick a white pebble up off the ground and put it in his bag and say, "Oh, look what we have here." And these niggas took us to jail for that.
Wow.
So nigga, no. No. I don't need the media to tell me how to feel about what cops are doing. I experienced that shit. Yeah. I went through that shit. And then until you do that, you shut up on this shit.
And that's what I was trying to, I explained to him. You know, I went ahead and like I saw people, you know, they was tearing him up on the comments like, "Fuck you, you racist, da 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 da." And I was like, you know what? I want to engage. Like I want to talk to him. So I sent a message by Yay Long. You know what I'm saying? And I just long. And I was just, you know, I just expressed to him, you know, you said the media. I was 11 years old when I first fit the description. Hey, son, let me talk to you. You fit the description of somebody who stole a bike. I had just walked out my house 5 seconds earlier. That shit scared the fuck out of me as a little kid. So from that point on, I was kind of, every time I saw a police car, I got a little anxiety about myself. Mm-hmm. I was 16 when the police, I was 16 when I had just got a car. I had just bought the car 8, 9, 10 hours earlier. You know, when you get the car, you got the dealer tags on it. I got pulled over. By the time I could stop the car and put it in park, I looked and I was like, I jumped because in the rearview mirror, you know what I'm saying? It was a police officer with his gun. And then I'm looking at him and then I just so happened to look right. It was another one with his gun out. What'd I do? I ain't even, they ain't asked me shit. So when people say, "Oh, you got to comply," I didn't even have, I complied by pulling over, but I didn't even have the opportunity to say who I am, what I am, who I am as a person. I just got a gun in because I know part of it is the neighborhood that I'm in. And I know part of it is because I don't have a tag on my car. Now they asked me, "Who are you? What are you doing? Where you going? Where your tag?" I just bought this car, sir. But suppose I move crazy because I panicked. I could have been shot right then. Mm-hmm. I was 17 when police pulled me over and slammed me on the car and checked us and asked, "Do we have any weapons?" For what? No reason. You know what I'm saying? So when you say comply, these are 3 different instances where I wasn't watching media, nigga. I was watching cartoons and football.
Let me speak on comply real quick.
I didn't need Fox or CNN or MSNBC to tell me those experiences. I lived those. So don't fucking tell me that the media is who gives me these ideas. That's when we start having a disconnect and we can't have good conversations.
Let me tell you, at the time of the story I told, let me tell you how much we were complying. We're on this side of the neutral ground. We have in New Orleans, there's neutral grounds. There's like a center. So me and Ball Hog on this side of the street. And we literally got out the cars and we saw the cop cars on the other side of the street riding with their dog. You know what we said? "Oh, them niggas about to get somebody." You know what they did? They made a U-turn and we was that somebody. And you saying comply, nigga, don't get more. We could easily ran in the house and avoided that shit and been away from it. But we complied and we stayed there and waited for the niggas to come back.
What that would have did if y'all were in the house.
Man, they told my mama house up.
Yeah, to try to say, "Oh, we saw them," and they tried to run, and then they tearing up the house trying to see what you done hid, and you know what I'm saying? Like it just.
But man, my thing is, before we even had 24-hour news and all this other shit, it just goes to say that you develop a fear of the police. And that shit sound crazy as fuck. That you don't feel safe when the police are around. Right. And as a black man, because of our experiences, I ain't have to watch that on TV. Like Stock said, I can tell those same stories. Yeah. Like a white cop looking at me because I'm black with dreads driving a Caprice. Oh, you must have weed in the car. Nigga got German Shepherds jumping over my damn seat and shit and telling me, oh, well, it must be stuck in the engine. Motherfucker, how? How am I getting to it then? Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It makes no sense. And it's crazy. It's sad that like, I think what's happening is now they're seeing it. They're finally getting video footage. And instead of accepting that this is what we've been telling you all of this time, it's more of a rush to defense. Like they're trying to do with the white kid up there in Wisconsin. They were trying to rush to defend the shit versus listening. I told him he's a teammate of mine. For people who've never played football, I'm just going to go here real quick. In football, a lot of shit happens real time where you have to process information and data real time. If Hood is the quarterback, I'm going to go to the wide receiver and be like, man, what are they doing? Oh, well, he about to blitz when he do this, or when they do this is what they doing. And we trust that information that player is giving us. We will make plans as a middle linebacker. My D coordinator, he's up there in the booth or even on the field. They still can't see everything. Mustaki, what's going on out there? What are they doing? Well, they doing this. We will make a whole plan around what I just said. So you trust my word. We're teammates. United States, we're supposed to be teammates. I'm telling you what's going on, but you like, nah, that ain't what happened. Nah. The media told you that.
Couldn't have been like, couldn't have been
cover two, not cover three.
Yeah, no. We just, we ain't gonna run because, like.
The guard couldn't be pulling. The guard would never pull.
And what's crazy is I know a lot of people who have a lot of animosity towards the police, but I know a lot of sensible people who they don't necessarily want to see the police defunded. They want to see the police reformed. They want to see it changed. Even in talking to this teammate, when I finally responded and when he finally responded, we realized we had a couple of things in common. Is he wanted police reform too. He said, he felt that he wanted police to have a 4-year degree where they go through college and da. Those are some things that you don't have. If I would have just got on there, fuck you racist. We would have never had that dialogue. Now imagine if other people who are in big positions of power start doing that. But I know why they don't want to do it, because some people are getting advantages and they're getting more by holding other people back, and they're getting their pockets enriched by holding other people back. And that's why we can't always have common sense dialogue, and that's why we're not getting shit changed, because we won't sit down and have that conversation. We could start there. You believe in that? You believe in the police for 4 years? So do I. You believe the media does have a part to play in this shit. They are doing shit. They are overblowing some stuff, and they are misinforming in some stuff on both sides. All I'm saying is that if we have difference of opinions and things, like I said, this person felt like police needed to be reformed. They needed a 4-year degree. If we both politicians, me and my friend or my ex-teammate, I won't even say friend, my ex-teammate, and we could find out like, okay, you believe in police reform, so do I. What's that look like? Why aren't we having these conversations? Why aren't Republicans reaching out to Democrats reaching out to Republicans and say, let's figure out how to reform this shit? Because the problem, the real problem, and
they hate each other too much.
A lot of the anger that's coming is because when something does happen, you basically tell me to shut the fuck up and try to tell me that it's not happening. And I'm telling you that it's happening. So don't disrespect us like that and not acknowledge our issue. We tired of seeing a man got his hands already. He complying. He got his, he on his knees with his hands behind his head, and you drop kick him. He's complied, and then nothing ever happens to that person. That's the shit that we tired of seeing. It's just, it's enough of that shit, man.
It's just sometimes you gotta be like, hey man, like why the fuck did you do that? Like that's a simple question.
Like you gotta be mentally on a different level to drop kick a man in his back when he's listening to you, fool. Like what did I don't know. I don't know what happened before
you fall.
I don't know what happened before that video started, but sometimes it be ego. I don't know if that happened. Even. Yeah, he ran or and so the man finally stopped and complied. Then he's like, "You made me run, niggas."
You literally have dehumanized people.
Hey, cops and criminals or whatever, they signed a contract. I'm supposed to get away from you. You're supposed to catch me. Like, that's who it is. That's what you signed up to do. You signed up to be a cop to get bad guys, but then when you run into bad guys, you can't handle it.
That's like somebody calling me and I'm mad. This motherfucker making me research. fucking job.
You working at McDonald's? This motherfucker ordered a hamburger.
I can't fuck your stuff up because you made me research. No, nigga, I'm still supposed to do my job in the right way.
And in the conversation, like you said, to have stop. You nobody's gonna listen to you you're not gonna hear a word nobody's saying when you're listening to you when you're listening with your feeling. You know what I'm saying? So maybe those hard conversations should happen, but you have to take feelings outside. And I don't think feelings can be removed when you telling me, you know what I'm saying, this is not happening, and I'm telling you and I'm showing you, hey, that's when the feelings on our side come about. But when you start off defending some shit that I'm saying that's happening, and I have footage and I have all kind of proof, ocular proof, then of course I'm gonna get offended, and then that's when the feelings come.
That's where all that anger comes from.
They're right. You see what I'm saying? So it's about listening. Like I said, like we said, just listen to what both sides have to say. And like you said, y'all even thought the same on certain.
We had the same concept,
and that's the craziest thing, because the United States, I'm pretty sure we all want to provide for our families. We
all want the same shit.
We all want the same thing. So
I told my manager, a white lady, but when all this was going down in the protests, so she was just making sure I was okay and everything. And I basically told her, I was like, man, I'm no different than your husband. I want to come home and ignore my wife the same way he do. So that's all we want to do at the end of the day is make it home.
Yeah, and it'd be crazy because like I always say on here, the rural man in Kansas want the same thing that the inner city kid want in Birmingham. We just want to be able to provide and make a decent wage or living for ourselves to get. It's just that certain entities, which is where I agree with him at, certain parts of the media perpetuate narratives and stereotypes that you don't always get to see, because you just going off of what they're saying. Now, that's when I think that media does play a part and play a hand in some of that shit. Mm-hmm. But don't say that media plays all of that, because media could have you thinking that they don't want to reform the police. Right. So that's why I think it's important for us to start having conversations.
And then it depends on the type of media you're listening to, because let's go to.
It's all media, Todd.
Yeah, it's all.
But I'm saying the media
some sort of side.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the side of the media in which, you know what I'm saying, you fall, because whereas we all know Cardi B, she has the smash on WAP, and the lady from Fox News, what this lady name is, she put out a tweet that says we need more Deanna Lorraine or Lauren or whatever. She put out a tweet saying that America needs far more women like Melania Trump and far less like Cardi B. The funniest part to me was Cardi's response. She was like, then she used to say a WAP, because she was on the front of Playboy, and then gave her a picture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I seen that. But honestly, sometimes I'm watching CNN or MSNBC and I'm like, why y'all doing that? Mm-hmm. So it's all media at this point.
All of them have their side that they're on. So they all is there any any right media? Not meaning right or left, meaning right or wrong. Right. Is there any right media? I don't think so.
And I don't want to fully blame them, because they do inform and they do have a vital role. But I'm just saying in some instances they perpetuate, they push a little narratives, or they fuel the flames of some of your darker fears. They fuel it. They get on there and make it, these people taking this, and then they show you only stories that fit that narrative. Right. So like, you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes if that's the only thing that that's all you see. I just was explaining to him, don't push my real experience to that.
Right.
Right.
Because I got real experiences.
Exactly. We've been on that a long ass time. But still, in result of that, we've seen some fallouts and things happening and boycotts. Like you were saying earlier, the WNBA, the NBA, announcers, things of that nature. You think that was the right way to go? You think that has some kind of effect, some kind of resolve to it? Or was it all for nothing?
It's tricky. I've thought about this a lot this week. We've argued about it in group message. We've talked about it in I don't have no problem with the way that the NBA players first reacted, simply because that's an emotional reaction. Like, that's how I feel right now. Like, I just want to do something. I want to be heard, and I do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to criticize them for doing something. But I also know, and that's what I said in the group when they first did it, I hope there's a plan behind it, because sometimes just acting with no plan, then you kind of come back a day or two later and then you plan again. And this is what I said before they did it. It's kind of like, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you see how their power, because it trickles down to high school players, it trickles down to college players, and now they're doing something with something that doesn't necessarily have a plan. And then, you don't know what to do or where to go from there. So it's tricky simply because I feel like the NBA players have a platform. I feel like they have influence. I feel like they're visible. But I also look at it like, if they boycott and they don't play, then they took away their platform.
You can't be seen.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's tiered. I feel like it's layered. I feel like you have to have people like the NBA players that's using their platform and getting out a message. I feel like you have to have financiers, like we know people who will criticize the people that's spending their money on it. You know what I'm saying? Who are trying to finance the movement. Because, everybody can't be a manager. Everybody can't be chiefs. You got to have Indians. You got to have all of that different stuff. You got to have people doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And if this is financing that movement, then that's just as bit as important as the person that's on the front line.
Because without these finances, we can't get there. We can't.
Then you got to have community organization, and then you got to start getting people who, instead of saying like your Ice Cubes and your people like that, instead of saying, I ain't voting for nobody, they don't look. Find candidates then that fit your narrative or that fit that mold. Put your money from that financier behind it. Get your messaging from your NBA players that have that voice to start rallying behind these candidates that can start affecting that kind of change in the neighborhood that you want to have. So I feel like, for me personally, at the end of the day, I get why they did it. I'm not going to criticize them for playing, and I'm not going to criticize them for boycotting, but I think that they need to play to use their voice to further the conversation.
I think that was a good start as well. Is a good start to gain attention. But once you gain that attention, you got to use it for your good. You got to use it for the good of the people. You got to utilize it.
Yeah.
So I think you were supposed to do that. But I also think now it's time for you to return with a plan. Like, hey, okay, we coming back, but y'all need to do this. Y'all need to make y'all arenas a place for our people to go and vote, or for every people, not just our people, for every people to go and vote. Since there's shortages in places to vote, and y'all taking away mailboxes and things of that nature. So we need to have these things in place before we even consider starting. And even a part of the start is we need to have something even more so going forward after that.
My only thing about I was for the players doing. I would have been cool either way, but you can't tell somebody to do something that you're not gonna do, and you don't know what these checks, how far these checks going. Like, they stay in the NBA, but they might be living check to check. We see it be broke NBA players all the time.
Who made $100 million?
Yeah, you don't know what's that going to.
Well, that's because you hear a lot about the $100 million now, but it's the nigga that's
league minimum
the
guy,
10th man on the bench.
Right. Yeah,
that's making a couple $100,000, but he taking care of a lot of people too off that $100,000.
He taking care of the same amount of. He taking care of the same amount of people as this $100 millionaire.
And then he living an NBA life. Like, damn, I can't really be staying in an apartment. I'm in the NBA. I'm supposed to be having this big house.
And I get the argument that it takes a sacrifice. I get it. I totally understand it. Like, we can't just sit there and be like, I'm making millions of dollars. Everything requires a sacrifice. But me personally, I don't think it's necessary that we have to point to, and I say this on this platform all the time, we don't have to point to celebrities. We don't have to point to NBA players. If you really want to be real, the local person, imagine if all the black garbage men or if all the black water boy people say, you know what, fuck that. I ain't doing it either.
I actually brought that up.
To step out for that thing. What would happen if all the federal employees,
that's what I said,
a lot on black, what if they gonna stop going to work?
That's what I said. Like,
your Social Security checks or your Medicaid, Medicare, or your Blue Cross Blue Shield shit ain't getting paid the way it goes. That's some shit that can change stuff too. So I just hate that people always think that
everybody black that work at Chick-fil-A, these white folks would change shit tomorrow.
Right? Like, it could be mobilized on all levels and platforms. And that's kind of what I was saying by, okay, fine. If the NBA players are going to still play, great. They're the messaging. After every game, you see Dame Lillard, you see all Bruin and them, they get to get talked to. And what they say goes everywhere. So play, because we need you to be able to say what you need to say on national TV, because you can tell, hey, if you in Cleveland, Ohio, man, meet at such and such day, and that are my people over here, and connect these networks.
But man, my thing was like, it's like the NBA has done. They had hit this shit out the park with everything that they could
exceedingly well.
Right. We would never see any other league do have a tenth of what they done. They let these boys whatever protest, however they want to protest. Biggest day on the court, Black Lives Matter. You can put whatever you want on your back, the shirts, even the WNBA, which is part of the NBA, they had the 7-shot shirt on because they were so trill with it. Yeah. They letting you do, hey, we don't know. Whatever y'all want to do, bet. We with you. Like, what else do you want the NBA to do?
I do think that still making that move sometimes can make things happen faster as well. Like immediately they had the commissioner speaking with the chiefs, the police chiefs and the mayors and the governors. Right. So I do think like making that happen, instead of it happening in a week, it's going to happen tonight.
Because it messes with the money. That's the bottom line.
Right. But see, I wish the Bucks would have did this without COVID, like at a home game. Now that would have been a bigger impact.
Yeah, but they had to work with what they had.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying in a perfect world, we'll be on the flight coming back from DC now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Or hungover, staying one more day.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Yeah, that was what I was saying too. Can't get right before you had came back. Like I was just simply saying that, like, they reacted real time, an emotional reaction, and we know sometimes when we do it, we don't necessarily have a plan. We want to be heard, and it worked because, like Huda just said, they started, generating.
That locker room had to be live as fuck. But I know what's the Greek freak, he couldn't have been talking because you can't understand the fuck he been saying.
They let George Hill talk.
Keep the what and leader.
They let George Hill speak for.
But
okay. Like this what he meant.
But all in all, man, despite all the shit that's going on, I still, believe it or not, I don't know why or how or where it's coming from, but I still have some sense of optimism. I think I have to.
Otherwise, you quit.
Yeah, in order to function. I really feel like that it's gonna be. I really feel like we're gonna get this right. I don't think change happens overnight. It's just like with anything. You want to lose weight, you can't lose 60 pounds in one day. It starts with one day. You know what I'm saying? You build upon that. So all of these conversations that we're doing, yes, we've had a lot of them, over the years. And this year we've had a lot of rapid shit that's been moving. And I think it's going to continue to grow. I don't think that you're going to be able to we're going to see some reforms, and I think we're going to see some changes. And I think we're going to see some political impacts from all of this stuff. And it just remained to be seen. It's just 2020 though, motherfucker. Stop fucking around now. You keep doing all of this weird, silly, crazy shit.
Flip-flopping.
You keep doing the flip-flop. But let's get away from that shit, man. Let's can't we really get away from it?
Yeah, have a little fun. If you get divorced, do you want your last name back?
My name is my name, anime.
Yeah,
I came here.
My dad got blood on that name.
There's a nigga who getting divorced, and he has to basically fight and argue with his ex-wife about getting his name back because she don't want to give his name back. So how do y'all feel?
Hey, if I'm legally not tied, then you can be called whatever the fuck you want to be called. Just as long as you can bother me.
Well, let's look at it in another way as well. Another way. Let's say you meet this lady in the future after her divorce, and she's so tied to this name, like, I love this name, I gotta have this name. Like, nah, I don't want you.
No, but
if you got
we already
you're
changing it. You're changing it. We remarry. But
ain't no ties to that nigga. Okay, ain't no ties to that nigga.
Go back to the ex-husband then, nigga. If you want to be allowed that name.
But who? That's funny you brought that up because don't y'all have the same last? I ain't gonna put your name.
No.
Don't y'all have the same last name?
No, my mom's last name is Smith, and her maiden name is Smith. Mine's not Smith though.
Oh, okay.
I was almost a Smith.
Okay, I knew.
I was almost
a cousin. You could have been my cousin, nigga.
You might still be shit. My mama maiden name that nigga. You never know. Fuck that. Get that nigga his name back. Man, give me my name back.
I was having a conversation with somebody.
But I will say
my name is my name.
I will say I know personally. a woman that got divorced, had kids, and kept her name because she wanted to have the same name as kids. Yeah, both of the kids, same dad, wanted to keep the same name.
Mm-hmm. I was finna ask my fucking name, man. I was having a
conversation. Keep it.
It's Todd's all over this world, huh?
You out your goddamn mind if you think we got divorced and I'm about to call you again? Talking about change your name back?
Your mill is no longer saying Miss Williams. No, she got to say something else.
I was having a conversation with somebody, right? It made me think about something. They was asking, like, when you was a little kid, you ever broke some shit and tried to hide it or like put it back like it wasn't broke, and then they found out about it,
they still act like I don't know what happened.
What was the most fucked up shit you probably broke and tried to hide?
I did too. One, when I was fucking around, the car, tried to hide it. I was fucking around and broke the clock on the wall. It fell. Some shit I was doing. And I just put it back up there. That bitch was cracked. I don't know how this shit got cracked. Mm-hmm. And then the worst one was, you remember those old TV, them old TVs with the booty on the back.
Mine was a TV.
If you put a magnet on the TV, it fucks up the TV. It'd be a little color thing right there.
You wanted to try it.
Yeah.
Scientist head. Mine was
right there in the corner.
Mine was a TV too, but mine was one of them big backs. When you drop it, like it doesn't necessarily crack or break the screen but the insides get fucked up. So I sat there and I plugged that bitch up like it was supposed to work. Finally, mom came on, turn that bitch on. It ain't working. I ain't doing it. But it never got out. My secret never got out. But it was the TV.
My mom had all, she had all of this.
Why did you drop the TV though?
Like when you connecting a Nintendo at that time, you got to slide and move the whole TV, get behind that bitch.
Okay. Put that bitch on channel 3. These kids will never know about putting this shit, the TV on channel 3.
Yeah,
exactly.
My mama had all this. My mama had all the authentic African stuff, like straight from. I'm talking about straight from Africa, authentic shit. Right. Yeah, this big ass painting frame with it was like a picture, but it had glass on that bitch. Playing football and that bitch hit it. The bitch fell, shattered the glass. So we had the bright idea like, ooh, if you take all the glass out, it's gonna look like glass. That shit worked for about a good week. Man, one day she was like,
why my paint look dry?
Now, you know how when they figured out, like she looked, where the fuck is the glass? I was like, I don't know.
What glass, mom?
Nigga, little kids always try to hit that. I don't know. Nah, nigga, something happened. Goddamn.
We know something happened.
Y'all ever been in that house where ain't nobody knew what happened, so everybody got that whipping?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, me and my cousin got in the ass whoopings that way. Nobody want to tell the truth, but everybody getting the ass whooped.
Yeah. How many times has it been because of you solely?
Mostly me.
Oh no. Because my aunt only 4 years older than me. Oh no, you finna catch this whooping with me too. Nah.
I give you some candy.
Some pretty bad dark experiences with that shit. Like I got my ass tore up for throwing some styrofoam and them old heaters with the real actual fire in it. I was throwing styrofoam shit in it. Man, my granddad, he smelled it, of course, and he came and asked who was throwing it in there. My cousin, little sister, wrong on. You know what I'm saying? Jay did it like. Damn, bro, you ain't gonna even put up a fight? And he whooped my ass, man.
I got an ass whooping for eating all the lunch meat one time. My uncle got that. It was from my uncle. I ate the whole, and I really did. I ate the whole pack of lunch meat. Like, I can't make a
how did ass whooping go? Like, did you lie about it?
Y'all lying up? Yeah, I lied about it. Nigga, nobody want to be.
All right, so you got to ask them for lying.
Yeah, for lying. But everybody, that was one of the times. Everybody got it. No, everybody got it. That was one of them times, nigga ain't tell who did it. So me and my cousins got that ass whooped.
That be his character, man. I was with one of my cousins one time.
I ain't snitching. We ain't snitching on each other. Well, I would have been snitching on myself.
Like his stepbrother or some shit told that we was cussing. And man, we got in trouble, but after that, we jumped the shit out that nigga. Like, fuck wrong with you telling we cussing. Right. We was about 9, 10. We jumped the shit out of this fat ass.
I know we hadn't got that hoop, but Jamar Chase just opted out the season.
Damn. That's crazy. Damn, I ain't see that. I ain't
he number 4. It just happened. Number 4 wide. You know what I'm saying? He already ranked 4.
Yeah, he'll be done.
I mean, that's fine. We loaded that receiver. But he would have been a super plus to have. And I get it. I super get why he doing it. That nigga was amazing. I was ready for him to come out last year.
How football works, fool. I really
I think it's gonna work. I think they're gonna make it work. Once it starts,
but you know what?
I was on that side too.
No turning back.
You know what's something that is kind of uplifting, but I can't figure out how this is true. They said for about the past week or two, UAB players no positive tests.
I mean, at some point it's gonna.
But they also saying,
like I just saw in China back to they almost had pre-pandemic flights. Like
Wuhan having fucking pool parties.
Yeah, they back
over
up to where they
100,000
were.
people. So I think it's getting to that point. That's why I'm at that point where I'm just getting out the house now, man. I think
I'm almost at the point of getting some Chinese food.
I ain't eating that dog still.
I had sushi.
We saw a lot of dark black shit
racist,
that happened, man, during the week. But I did want to give a big shout out, man. I did want to give a big shout out to two black-led banks. They're emerging, creating a $1 billion national lender. I don't know if y'all saw that Broadway Federal Bank in Los Angeles. They've been around since 1946. And City First Bank in Washington, which opened back in 1998, just announced that they will merge banks. Two black powerful CEOs came together and decided to make that happen. You know, work together to build a bigger bank. So let's give a big shout out to them on that.
Yo.
Right. $1 billion. That's business, man.
Let the dummies know if you need something to invest in.
Man,
yeah, we need to. Hey, let's hit them up.
Right. I'm gonna hit them down. Show. Hey, I'm trying to buy this house. You can front me a few. You know what I'm saying?
You trying to get the network, nigga. Y'all want to get the network? Get the network.
And while you at it, you give me this house shit. I got a podcast too, so I am a business owner. What you want to do?
Did y'all see?
I need some relief.
We talking about business too, man. I don't know if y'all saw this, but on Thursday, the Federal Reserve announced plans to allow the prices of goods to run higher in an effort to basically improve the economy. So they're gonna let inflation go up, but they're gonna keep the interest rates, all these interest rates that you're getting away with, they're gonna keep them really, really low. They said that's a tactic that's usually only used in a strong economy, and they think that they could backfire by creating goods to be higher. You're hurting people who are out of work right now, and the people who, you know, not getting the income that they've been getting because you're making everything go up, groceries, gas.
So I could get a house. I could still get a house for the low, but I can't get no bread.
Yes,
right.
Sir.
You're gonna get a house with no groceries.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You have somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
Have a hell of.
I mean, I think that's been happening anyway, though, because like we was talking about, like ground meat was this much of money, and bread was this much of money, and milk was this much of money, and then now they're talking about it going even higher. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I ground beef, I'd be like, man, we had did.
The turn to learn to live off the land.
We had did ship, and she fucked around and got the 93% ground beef. That was about $9 a pound. Motherfucker. I'm making tacos with this.
But you ever notice when you be cooking that ground beef, it don't have as much grease and shit coming off?
It don't.
Yeah, no, it don't. Right.
But it don't taste the same when you cook it some, like we was making tacos. That shit ain't good for tacos.
You want that grease for the tacos.
Yeah, you need the little grease. Little grease ain't never hurt you.
Do y'all think that
we just talking about going to the doctor?
Right. Do y'all think that today's time sometime is coming about, it's becoming more about getting credit for the help that you do? Like, you know, we see people, you know, they want to film themselves feeding the homeless, or we talked last week about Master P, and we was kind of saying how, like, it kind of seemed like my man mad because somebody else kind of getting the credit possibly for getting C-Murd out. But y'all put that post in here with Trey the Truth down in Houston. He basically was posted a video on his social media page about an individual getting harmed or hurt by the police. And somebody messaged him directly and said, who sent you that video of the cops? That's my video. I have copyrights on a video of somebody getting beat up. But they said, I have copyrights. Give me credits or please delete it. Thank you. And his basic response was, wow, I'm just trying to raise awareness. And she basically said, well, we already on that. We already talked to the news outlets already, and they already reached out to us. And he was like, cool, I'll get out your way.
So you don't know, his platform might be bigger than the news outlet you were referring to.
Right.
And if you got copyrights and all he doing is posting it, it's not like he's getting monetary value for that. If you got the copyright, it's helping you to be able to do that. I would think, maybe I don't understand how that shit work, but I would think that brings
all in all, it shouldn't. All in all, is wrong. It shouldn't be for nothing but the purpose of helping this person.
And this trade of truth, you know where he coming with it.
She don't. She don't. She was a white female.
Yeah, I think she was a Caucasian lady.
Oh, okay. Well, you're dumb. But nah, man. But like, you know, I mean, I don't think he was doing that for no notoriety. Like he do shit. But that's kind of how. I mean, I try to be like, I'm not gonna post me doing certain things because that ain't what you're doing it for. Right. Like when I volunteer, now if it's bringing awareness, like say I do something at the church and it's for the kids, then I'll post that to maybe this parent be like, oh, I'm gonna take my kid over there, like stuff like that. But if I'm volunteering or doing something like that, I'm not gonna post that because that ain't what you're doing it for. Right. And them niggas be looking whack as fuck when they do. Ooh, look at me doing this, man. Fuck off.
Yeah, giving the community $100.
Yeah, feeding. I just gave this homeless man a burger.
I do this. Stupid ass.
That should be whack. Did y'all see Terry Crews? He said, "Let's go boycott Magic City." Y'all want to boycott Magic City?
For what? He don't like ass.
And at the end of the day, them women are in there trying to make a living, man. You want these?
And they're providing a service.
You know what I'm saying?
Essential.
Did y'all see?
There are essential workers.
According to 2 Chainz and Verses, they're essential.
Did y'all see Jed response?
Oh yeah.
That nigga said all this shit going on, and this nigga talking about boycotting black women making money. I fade your big whitewashed ass.
Yeah.
You gotta understand this nigga here all the 5'6".
That's what I was about to say. Ain't that nigga a little bitty?
Yeah. Hey, Terry Crews pussy, he might fuck you up.
I don't know, but Terry Crews got a lot of fights out there. Yeah.
I seen somebody say, what the classic did to you, Terry Crews.
Man, crazy, man.
What the classic did to you?
Magic City. Classic.
Gotcha.
Dummy.
It was a miss. My bad. It happened.
Threw that bitch right out of bounds.
You won for 4 today.
Foul ball.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you live to fight again.
Keep swinging.
I want to talk about this, man. Shit is no secret. One of the bigger podcasts in the game is the Joe Budden podcast. We saw that this week that they are announcing that they're moving off of Spotify. Limited in our scope of the bigger side of the business. I just wanted to see what y'all thoughts was about them moving from Spotify. We saw Spotify respond. We saw Joe Budden, what he had to say about Spotify and their movements. I just wanted to get y'all thoughts about what y'all thought about the move, or what y'all thoughts on the business aspect of it, and how y'all see it.
Spotify, you got a spot. We the Dummies. We ready. What you want to do? My response.
My shit is know your worth. That's cool. I wouldn't have did it in that way. I would have. I maybe not even have brought it up, but I damn sure wouldn't have brought it up. Still under contract like that with 5-6 episodes. I think they still got left, and I wouldn't have talked about it for 2 episodes. Like, okay, bro, we get.
It's kind of been more than that too, though.
They've been talking about it.
They've been talking about it, but these last 2 episodes, this is all they've been talking about. Like the past 2 episodes. But they say they got a deal somewhere else, and somebody else offering you a bigger bag. Cool.
Dad said he didn't see it, but Spotify basically said it was our desire to keep Joe Budden on at Spotify. As Joe referenced on his show, we made him a considerable offer, one that was significantly larger and many times the volume of his existing agreement and reflective of the current market and size of his audience. Unfortunately, we could not come to terms, and we respect his wishes to find a new home for his show. And that was basically their response to it. He said, fuck you. Fuck y'all deal.
Because the shit that they gave him a deal. I ain't gonna say better deal. They gave him a deal worth more money. But also with some of the details that they was giving out, they were just trying to own them all individually. Their names, their likeness, their
everything
branding,
that they do.
Everything. And it's like, and we always talk about like, nah, nigga, you can't own me. Like we see this happens too often nowadays and like you say, he comes from the music business. We see this in the music business so often, like the Maces of the world come back fighting for their publishing and for the rights to own their name. And they just get paid off their name.
I heard him say, and it was very interesting because they wanted to put commercials on his old episodes, even when he went on Spotify. And he said last week, 20,000 people listened to the very first episode. And they was gonna put commercials and change them on all his whole back catalog. If 20,000 people going back 400 episodes listen to your first episode, that's money. That's ad revenue. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, nigga, I need some of that. And they want to own Maul. They want to own all them niggas.
Yeah. Maul had some kind of show going on. Rory had an album going on. Parks with all of his music.
It probably was those master classes that
those probably some of those
wanted to get in on. But you know, like I do get.
It's still a way to do it, though.
I do get Joe's point about, you know, he came from music. So like, hey, haha, this shit ain't new. I've been seeing this. So he got an advantage over that. That he have over maybe some other people. Like I've learned the ins and outs, the tricks. Now I've been in the rooms at the radio stations. I've seen, now that I retired, I've seen the executive sides of it. I'm getting this shit a little different. So you can't handle me like that. Mm-hmm. And I do think it's something good to be said about knowing your worth and your value. Without knowing the actual numbers, it's kind of hard to see what's what, where's what. So it's hard to speak on it directly because we don't know none of the actual numbers and the figures that was thrown around. You know, he did admit that it was more money than he's ever seen in his lifetime.
He also said, he also mentioned that I want my $100 million too. So that kind of tells me maybe it wasn't that.
Right.
No, it wasn't. But he said it was going to make all the millionaires, but this new deal wasn't. But speaking on that, man, it's like, I mean, we was talking about just sticking together. I ain't really like Charlamagne coming out and being like, well, Joe, you start getting in all these bad deals. Maybe it's just you. Well, no, maybe when you get in the building, you see shit fucked up and you don't want to be in the building no more. But, nigga, don't speak on that on your platform. Don't speak down on another black man what he got going on because you're saying I'm worth more than this.
Yeah, I agree with that. But is it, to be fair,
it's both ways, too.
Joe Budden, we've seen him do that, too.
So nah, you can't make that argument. I mean, could you talk about niggas in their deals
he talk about people in their deals and taking.
Oh no, yeah, because when he was talking to Uzi first, he was wrong for that. Don't get me wrong, but he was just like, "Do you even know what you're signed to?" Like, because you don't want people to get fucked up how you was fucked over. Yeah, but just because these niggas fucking me over, don't really always mean, because the way he made it seem like the deal they signed, they really ain't like they bonuses. They hit their marks, but Spotify said, "Oh no, you ain't really."
Yeah, Spotify always fucked up in that deal though.
Yeah, so like, you could sign a good
the soundings
deal
of it, and the way that Spotify responded was a little bit dry. They're basically saying we offered him something good, they didn't take it, but address these issues of these people meeting their business.
That's like big companies not gonna do that. They gonna
that's like in football.
They gonna give you one blanket statement, and that's it. They're not gonna go back and forth with you.
That's like in football. If they say, "Hey, running back, you get an extra $5 million if you rush for 1,500 yards." It's in a regular season. It's game 16, and they take you out when you at 1490. So they won't have to pay you. We see that all the time. So like, they just, you know what I'm saying? But if the bonuses was hit, the way that might have been a good deal.
In the way he was saying, they actually hit their 1,500 and still ain't get paid. So he signed a good deal. It wasn't him. I don't know the deal, good, bad. I don't know the ins and outs of the deal.
And then with Complex, they changed the deal. Hey, you start wearing these Nikes because Nike is going to pay us for it. Well, are you paying me? Right. Well, fucking, I ain't wearing these fucking Nikes. Don't wear whatever shoes I want to wear.
I just hope that in all, because sometimes, like we've said before, it's something to be said about being first. Sometimes when you first, you got to take the lumps and bumps and bruises that make it kind of easier for other people to navigate through. And, you know, appreciate the feedback that they dropped this week, you know, the information that you probably wouldn't have known otherwise. So that was good information, and that was dope that they decided to share that with people like us who are podcasting and people who are down the line that's coming into this game that really enjoy doing it, to know about all the odds and ends behind the scenes. So
have you listened to yesterday yet?
No, not
I haven't finished.
I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff you agree with him on, especially with like when he's discussing the Charlamagne portion as well. How he's speaking out and how just his views of him and what he's doing and how he uses his platform, like we spoke of before. I think you'll agree with a lot of it.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of
Spotify. If you need another podcast with a rapper talking to his three friends, we got you.
Right. And we got a white one.
I said that eventually.
Listen, one of us is white.
I did.
Shit,
you got a white guy.
Dance can be white if we need him to be.
Republican Joe. Republican Joe. We got one of them.
And we got a Joe. Shit.
But honestly, like, fuck, I forgot the fuck I was finna say. Oh, no. I do want to say one thing though, Joe, you know, with that shit that he said. Stop acting like you're not a celebrity, motherfucker. You are a celebrity. Because that nigga kept saying that, and I get what he's saying, the bigger celebrities, but how do you think we look? Like, we everyday people that I promise it is so many millions of people in America that will relate to what we're saying, and our job is to get it out. And we're going to get it out there. We're going to keep going until we get it out there. But I bet you we'll learn a lot more and relate a lot more to more people than your platform when you be saying, like, you not a, nigga, you on TV, you on reality shows and shit.
Nigga been rich since he was 18.
You pick up the phone and call other celebrities. You know how nigga
that nigga after saying all that, he was like, yo, Jay-Z texted me back and said, Jay-Z text you, my nigga.
Entertained your conversation.
That nigga text you. Maul, goddamn, is hip-hop's brother. The nigga brother name is hip-hop. What the fuck is you saying? You've been around Jay-Z and Rockefeller more times than you can even name. Parkinson did shit with everybody in the world. Jill Scott calls that nigga baby. You
got this. you making this songs to Drake and fucking Jay-Z and all that shit, nigga. You
Rory did a party at Madison Square Garden. A party.
Y'all
and sold that bitch out. Niggas not regular.
Hendrix.
Future.
My man said
that nigga about to
should have never gave that messy hoe a chance.
808.
My apologies to my fans.
I wonder who the messy hoe he talking about.
I don't know.
Laura,
I want the music.
Steve Harvey, daughter.
Laura, his new baby mama.
Did y'all see the picture though? How
my boy sitting down like
he laid out
like R&B album cover.
I can't wait to get this album.
He needs to apologize for his last 5 albums.
I still like Future music, man.
Yeah, I like.
I still like it. It's still jam. And I'm probably gonna listen to the last one today. Now that we see that,
and that was my jam a little harder than all of them, man. Confessions did for us, or some. You know what I'm saying? He got broke up.
Stories.
He got
some stories.
That nigga ought to be tired of breaking up. He got so many breakup albums. Goddamn, is that still equivalent for him? Every album is breakup album for that nigga, man. I ain't mad at him.
Did any other music drop though? Because I didn't. Didn't the Locks drop some shit or something?
The Locks dropped some shit.
I didn't listen to it.
It's some new shit supposed to be coming out.
Was it live to the Locks?
I like it.
You like it too?
Yeah, it's pretty dope. If you like that old Lock sound, is exactly that.
I ain't gonna lie.
And they rap good.
After Jada and whatchamacallit got at each other, I want to go back and see.
Yep, it's still that.
Before I forget.
Don't forget.
Brandon and Monica tomorrow.
Oh, Monday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay. Tomorrow. Yeah, so when y'all hear this, they drop in a day. I want to get y'all thoughts. Who y'all got? Who winning?
If Monica wear the big white shoes, I got her. That's a big ass, ugly ass sandals, boy.
I think Brandon gonna win, but I like Monica better.
I like Monica way better.
Yeah, Monica. Yeah.
Because
Brandon got some shit, boy.
Brandon got some shit.
Brandon got some shit. She's gonna win, but
Monica
I never wanted Brandy. Yeah. I never wanted Brandy. Like her eyes too far apart. You gotta look. You gotta stretch your eyes to look at both of them.
And Moesha, I'd have took her.
I wanted shit.
It's just me. I would.
Her friend was killing her on Moesha.
I took both of them.
Surely you're not talking about the
not Kim. No, the other friend.
Y'all trash. What's wrong with Kim?
She wasn't attractive.
Y'all trash. But they got a couple of.
I would took the mama over Brandy.
We had a couple of announcements on new music stuff. We got Big Sean coming out with Detroit 2. I have a question. Is that a lazy album title? Would you just name it 2?
No,
that mixtape was live.
But hang on. Did y'all listen to that song with him and Nipsey?
Hell yeah.
I ain't listened
over and over again.
Nigga, in the words of Todd, harder than freezer meat.
I ain't listened to it on purpose.
That shit hard.
That shit dope.
That shit hard.
That shit hard.
Nip went off, and Big Sean went too far behind him.
Yeah. I get so sad.
Fans? Every time I hear
I like him.
I've been a Big Sean fan.
It just, for whatever reason, his music
it
don't stick with me. But like I listen to it and I like him. I think he dope. I think he got major spit. But I mean, it just something about it don't make it like I can't really. I ain't riding no Big Sean, and that's not a knock to him.
I'm a huge Big Sean fan. I think he's to me what Wale is. Can't get right.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I can see that.
Definitely can see that.
I liked him. His mixtapes and earlier works was dope. But like you get that way. Like I'm like that way with Dime Kennedy. I'm like that way. I think probably the only other person that might agree that this was a good artist at one part. Staley. I think Todd fucked with Staley. His early Staley.
Give him a white name.
Stop spelling shit.
Republican Joe.
But that shit was damn. That was Republican after I said this. Stop spelling your name wrong. It's my name. But now his earlier shit was dope as fuck, and he just fell off.
Yeah. I think once he, kind of parted ways with MMG production wise, you know what I'm saying? Because them niggas beats be like fucking from another stratosphere.
No, I think that's what fucked him up when he got with MMG. He didn't put out really anything good after that. When he was underground, unsigned.
I think he did put out one.
You talking about Staley?
Yeah, Staley. Yeah.
When he was with MMG, that was that mixtape.
Yeah,
but that was like Lincoln Heights was before MMG.
But that shit wasn't live to me.
It wasn't live.
It wasn't live than that.
He dropped like one right out the gate. He dropped some on MMG that was live. Then he had one song on the MMG album that was like real live. And then it kind of like
Found the Youth with Nip and Rick Ross.
Yeah, then something happened from that.
It goes so hard, fool. But man, I know where you were going, Stock, and I feel the same way.
What?
Man, every time I hear a Nip verse.
Yeah, fool, you caught that, didn't it? I was trying who the goddamn, hooted.
That shit get me mad. Okay. It even makes me sad, fool. Man, that man was
that man wasn't even nowhere near what he was finna be. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like his wordplay and how smooth that nigga is on that shit, man.
That shit was starting to look effortless, man. Like, and even if you go back, you know what I'm saying, and listen to some of that old shit like Crenshaw, you be like, man, this nigga was right there, fool.
Mm-hmm. I still weekly almost still find some YouTube interview of him, like the shit he was about to, like the shit that he was saying, it was just, we didn't appreciate it in the time, but that shit is like timeless. Ain't no telling when they laid that verse down. When in the time recent, but because it's been over a year.
28
but that
on
shit
that Game
was
album.
timeless.
That Game album, that recent Game album, he got that song with Nip. Man, that shit so loud out. Like he went crazy on that.
So and whoever picking this music doing a hell of a job. They doing a hell of a job of picking the verses and where to put it. But I don't know if they can go wrong.
They probably did that long time ago. Like he did that song with Game a while ago. Cause I remember like right after he died, it was like Game, Dre, and everybody was like listening to it. Like he was alive when he made the actual song with him. But
I wonder if he was able to make this song.
That shit was so fucking live.
I wonder if he was able to make this song with Big Sean, or if it was just given to Big Sean.
According to Sean on the album, he said he made that shit.
Yeah, because like that's one thing about that I learned later is that them niggas be having songs and music for a long time.
Man.
They just be sitting on it, waiting on the right, chance. They be fine tuning and tweaking the shit before we even hear it. It might be a 2-3-year-old song,
right?
Because this damn show almost gonna be about 2 years, very shortly.
And Sean probably was always gonna put this on his album, but yeah, he ain't dropped it in the last. It's been a minute since.
It's been a minute for Sean to drop something.
But I'm ready. Like who said I can't wait to check it out. Because he makes some good music, so I'll be ready to check it out.
Yeah, Ross also re-announced the name of his new album, Richer Than I've Ever Been, and he ain't talking about money. He on some spiritual shit. He said that's what he said. It means some spiritual shit.
Richer and probably. Richer in experiences, richer knowledge, richer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I can feel that. I can feel it both ways. I think he's financially richer as well. But
you watch that show.
I want to hear raps about you pouring champagne on a Popeye's chicken box or some shit.
I like his raps about life and shit better.
This is true, but that nigga was on one the other morning, bro. That man was under by Lloyd Banks' name, like that nigga was on some shit.
Yeah, that nigga asked Bank, hey, sell me your name, man. I know how you living now.
Damn.
Yeah,
I sent it to
him. Yeah, he was.
I ain't look at it.
He did what now?
He had a court case that
nigga was playing Lloyd Banks' song.
But you got to back. He had a court case this week. A court case that he finally won with 50, and so he was kind of bragging about it, and then that's how you get the law.
Oh, okay.
What he said to
Lloyd Banks. I'm so fly. A nigga say, man, stop that.
Nigga said, stop that.
How much you want for the name Lloyd Banks?
How you living right now? I tell you what, I give you 5,000 for that name. That'll be one of my monikers.
Ross trying to Spotify nigga.
And then he said, let's drop an EP or an album called Victim of Circumstance.
Yeah. He said, I thought, you know what? I know what your next album could be. Victim of Circumstances.
That's fucking.
That's what I'm saying. My mom was on it. He was on one.
Yeah, he was feeling himself in that big ass mega mansion you saw.
Right.
Damn, Lloyd Banks
Lloyd
Banks still catching 50 cent strays. Damn,
man, that nigga got.
Ain't catching no chicks.
We saw football started back this week, man. We talked about it earlier.
Shouts out to the food.
We saw football back. I watched it, and to me, I watched a lot of high school games because that's all we had this particular weekend. We seen Spanish Fort and St. Paul down in Mobile. I think it was Deion's son and T. Martin's son, two legends. Of course, Deion, super duper superstar legend. His son looked real good. T. Martin,
the hood superstar.
Yeah,
but he's in 11th grade too. Yeah.
And so we saw them. Then last night, I think it was Central Arkansas versus Austin Peay.
Yeah.
That actually was a dope ass game. I know a lot of people was probably watching the NBA. I don't know why, but I just was glued to football for the most part. That shit I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Every time around this part of the year, this is when I miss football the most. Y'all got to check on me, man. Them first 2-3 weeks of football.
Now you are indulge, man. Indulge.
I don't be right, man. I be out there, bitch. I be looking at the little towel hanging off, and
the boy be dressed out
and
there.
I just be like getting sad all over again.
You about to run out that bitch? Nigga about to run on the field, run through the TV, guy.
I told Mark,
gonna run you some routes in your grass.
I was watering the grass.
Just go tackle the tree.
I was watering the grass the other day, and that little smell came. The little grass.
The grass smell.
Back real quick.
This shit used to be all in my face. This shit used to be all in my face here. Yeah, Paul.
Nigga all in my face. Fuck y'all. But nah, it was just dope to see football back. I hope everybody can be safe. How you think them boys feel like at Big Ten schools now that all these boys finna start playing? You gotta feel like that's like the little kid when you on punishment and you can't go outside and you see all your friends outside playing.
You be thinking it's the funnest time. They have the best time ever. It was it'd be the same time.
It'd be the same
you just standing,
time.
but you standing in the window. You got to stand in the window and point right now. Like, nah, nigga, let me be out there and have them same times.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they putting pressure on them. That's why they're considering now to start around Thanksgiving.
In November, isn't it? They said
and then, but the argument is, if you're gonna choose to start in November, why not October? Why not next month? Why?
Would they be eligible for the playoffs though? Because Ohio State was supposed to be really good this year, right?
I don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know how that shit.
Ohio State is ranked like number 2, right?
I think if you start at Thanksgiving, no, because playoffs are only early January, right. And you only got a month of season.
And then is that fair?
But no,
let's say Alabama fucked around and lost to one of these they lost to a UAB or some shit like that. Would that be fair that Ohio State come in and only play like 8 games and then they get considered? They hadn't played a whole season.
Right.
I think this season washed.
I don't know. Sometimes that's tricky. That's a tricky question because
if
sometimes teams
November,
play 12
they
games, some play 11.
The SEC only playing 9, I believe, right?
Well, I get the 11, 12. That's a little bit different. But now we're talking about you didn't even play 3-4 games. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit different to me.
Yeah, no.
Huge.
Some of those games,
you battle tested in them 3 games.
You play big schools. Like I think we fucked up. We lost to Florida.
And would it be?
Who was Florida supposed to play? They were supposed to play somebody big early. It was
Alabama and USC.
Alabama and USC. It was a lot of big early games. I don't know.
It's just tough. It's a tough one because even if they do like take the SEC model, is the SEC model harder because they're playing all SEC teams and you're playing all Big Ten teams? I think an all SEC team schedule is a lot harder.
Way harder
than that. So I don't know, man. It's tricky. This whole year is tricky.
But I'm saying like the timetable.
The SEC playing more SEC teams?
Yeah, it's all SEC.
Yeah, they all SEC.
That's 10 games instead of the regular 8, right?
Well, see, man, I keep getting confused because somebody from the
SEC. I want to say it's 8 all SEC.
I thought you had one non-conference game.
Yeah, I feel like they picked up somebody got a little game in there somewhere. It might be y'all, Todd. Somebody playing somebody small, man. I can't. See, this shit so fucked up. Nobody knows what's really going on.
Because now Florida don't play Florida State, huh?
Because think about it. Didn't UAB still got their game with Miami, but that's the ACC. So
no, they don't. They canceled that.
When?
I thought it was canceled.
No,
ACC only playing conference games, right?
No, ACC, they announced that only non-conference game for Miami was
okay,
gonna be
LSU
UAB.
schedule. LSU got Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Florida, South Carolina, Auburn, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, all fucking ACC.
And we got Ole Miss first, South Carolina, A&M, Texas A&M, LSU, Missouri, Georgia, Arkansas, Vandy, Kentucky, Tennessee, SEC championship.
Oh, SEC.
No, for like Arkansas schedule. One of y'all look at Arkansas schedule. They played like they might not win a game.
I want to say Auburn.
Tennessee got to go to Georgia and Alabama the first month
because the SEC coaches was mad about that. Adding in the extra and adding in the
SEC game.
What can you do? You want to play football or you want to?
I don't understand why that makes a difference.
Well, I guess what they saying is, it does make a huge difference. But I guess they saying if we're playing, if it's to protect us, we can get COVID from other SEC schools, first of all. So if a team like UAB playing or Central Arkansas or Austin P or those people playing, you can still have that same non-conference game.
That's what I'm talking about. I understand.
My man don't want to compete.
No, I'm talking about like it's not safe for playing a non-conference school. I mean, you're not at more risk.
But then it's also, I think it's easier as well because we know the SEC is playing football. We know that. We don't know what the Big 12 is going to do next month. We don't know what the ACC is going to do next month. We don't know what conference.
And would it be even? Would it be enough teams to go find? And you got to make the schedule match up to the exact. So it's a lot. I get it.
It's just easy to go SEC. We know we're playing.
They were
football,
saying because of the hospital, UAB is the safest place to play football.
I think put a hospital and pillow together. Hospital.
The hospital. And ambulance.
Ambulance.
House pillow. God damn.
Dummy.
See, y'all always want to joke about the wrong shit.
That's what you're supposed to joke about.
Yeah.
What else we got, man?
Auburn ain't the last game no more.
Yeah,
so
that's
crazy.
Florida State ain't the last game.
Ain't no Iron Bowl. Shit,
no, it is. And it's the same weekend. That's why they did it. It's still Thanksgiving weekend.
Cool.
This gonna be some weird ass football, but all in all,
but that's fucked up. This would have been my year to go to Bayou, even though Bayou gonna be probably trash. But they ain't not even doing it, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh no, fool. Well,
they're
doing a classic, right?
No,
it's in the
they
spring.
started in the spring.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's not gonna be a Bayou Classic. Whoever those two teams don't play each other.
And I think Barron said Bayou Classic is the same time as
same
Magic
weekend
City
as the
Classic. That's why we had.
You're right. That's what it was.
End of April.
Stupid fucker.
I do hate that. I'm not an LSU fan or nothing, but I am sad that Chase ain't gonna play.
I'm big
that
sad
man
on
was cold-blooded.
That man went off for 1 year and he just looked amazing.
Nah, that nigga was cold-blooded. If you say he cool, you hate.
Yeah, you hate.
I
don't have to be LSU fan to respect that boy. That was true.
But if you out, are you still on scholarship? Are you still in school?
Nah, he probably got an agent. He probably
need it.
He the overall number 4 pick. Right,
he gonna get paid. He gonna get millions, so you can go take loans and shit out and practice. and
he just finna go train.
That nigga got a check in his pocket right now. Goddamn.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
American broke him off out of the game. Bro.
Big chain right now. Him and ODB chilling somewhere.
Damn, I'm sad about that shit. But
I'm big sad, but I think that
I did want to see him and Marco go up though. I ain't gonna even lie.
There's a kid named Racy McMath. I think he's gonna be amazing. He went to Biggs in high school. I think he's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even check on Biggs to play.
Nah, we talked to Biggs last night. You remember that? You were so drunk. Do you remember talking to Biggs last night?
I remember talking to him, but I don't know if I asked him about football.
He didn't say nothing about no game. He was just telling me that coming from the school he's now at a Catholic school. So he was like, it's a big difference because you coming from these city schools with all niggas, but the school he's at is a Catholic school. It's all niggas, but it's still a Catholic school. So they're more privileged. Now he's like they're more privileged. They don't have that it like we had. You know what I'm saying? Like just coming from the hood itself is gonna put a different hunger in you compared to these Catholic school kids. Now they still cool. They're still Leonard Fournette's. So that's the high school basically. It's still Leonard Fournette's there, but just not.
But we're crazy. My experience is like most of the niggas that be at the Catholic schools be from the hood.
They do. Majority of them do. But then sometimes I just think that you have that mindset. If I'm at a Catholic school, I'm more privileged than.
It's kind of like
they be a little different because everybody I know that went to a Catholic high school really stayed in the hood, Tomerville, Plateau, stuff like that. But They
did things different. They hung out because they hung out in different atmospheres.
It's kind of like the nigga who start a business with a job versus nigga who start a business without a job. Mm-hmm. Like with a job, sometimes it be kind of more comfortable. Like, oh man, I ain't got to do that shit because you got money coming. Versus nigga, I don't have nothing but this job.
Grind.
You gotta grind a little different. Yeah, so I can get it. Moving on into the dummy of the week.
Dummy. Who's one of these stupid motherfuckers?
Dumbass, stupid ass dummy.
You dumb and a dumbass.
You're angry.
I got a couple of them.
Give it to them all. Too. Fuck it, man.
Give him one.
Spread these bitches out.
Who this is? NBC News.
Dummy.
Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, test positive for coronavirus.
Also,
it was a good idea, and I understand. You know, I hope Usain Bolt is fine and everything works out because COVID is a bad thing. The only problem, NBC, is that that was Kevin Hart that y'all posted on the picture. Some nigga took Kevin Hart.
He's not Jamaican. He's not 6'3".
He doesn't run track.
They had that.
Them niggas took a picture and put Kevin Hart up that bitch.
They all look the same here. There.
Right.
Kevin Hart came out and was like, "Man, that was so disrespectful."
Like how y'all know that they know? Like how y'all don't know who that is though?
Like, some of that shit be on purpose.
Who
gotta be, man. Like
who makes these decisions?
You gotta be so out of tune with life.
Kevin Hart. Hey, that might be the new clickbait. I put this picture up to make you niggas click. Like, what the fuck?
Because man, say you type in Kevin Hart and then you go to, like on Google, you go to the images. Usain Bolt is not the first. Well, if you type in Usain Bolt, Kevin Hart is not on that, man. Where you even get that shit from?
Maybe now, who knows?
Well, For that, they are the dummy of the week.
Or smart, knows.
I got another one though. It was a man who allegedly ran around giving people hugs just for no reason. Like he'll just come up, give you a hug, and say, "Congratulations, now you got COVID." So he was telling them that he got COVID. Well, because of this dumbass nigga's he's got a warrant out for his arrest. Okay. They put a surveillance tape and everything on there for walking up for people in a Springfield mall in a Walmart, basically hugging people and say, "Hey, just giving you a COVID hug. I have COVID." So something so stupid, so dumb. Like nigga, do you just want to go to jail? If I'm gonna want to go to jail, go rob a bank or some shit. Go do something that could
do something fun.
Like, I'm not going. You ain't gonna go to jail for giving people hugs. You stupid motherfucker.
You stupid motherfucker.
Ain't nobody fucked him up.
I'm surprised at that. I'm more surprised.
You know, he probably hugged the right people. He was probably real selective. Because I'd have hayuked his ass.
Let me catch.
I would have knocked that nigga to the next level, goddamn, on Mortal Kombat.
Let me catch a COVID hug in Bass Pro Shop. You all kind of grills and shit.
We'd have jumped the shit
grill on your head.
Other than that, Ty, you say you had one?
Oh yeah, Daniel Cameron. The Georgia, not Georgia, but Kentucky Attorney General. You are not black, sir. I'm sorry. You refuse to arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, and you gonna go after Joe Biden talking about, Joe Biden, sir, I am black. No, you're not. I speak for all the dummies here when I say you are not black, motherfucker, and you are a dummy for saying that shit.
I knew
y'all saw the
videos
pictures of him at the
and then he gonna mention Breonna Taylor name in his thing at the RNC. So you definitely not.
Did you see his family portrait? His side of the family ain't even come. It was just all her.
So therefore, you're not. Sorry.
Black card revoked.
You going in a Dave Chappelle race trade?
Yeah, we giving you away.
Yeah, good.
For that, all you motherfuckers.
Give us Bernie Sanders. You go.
Dummy of the week. Dummy. Any other news and information we got? Anything we forgot, man? I know it was a big, heavy topic about black-white issues, man. I appreciate y'all, boy, man. Good conversation, man. I enjoyed that. Any other things that we got to add or want to put in before we get out of here?
Love everybody, man. It ain't that fucking hard.
It ain't. And like you said earlier, like I ain't, you had moved to a different topic, but I told them boys yesterday, like, I had been fussing with Barron all week, like going at it all week. I called that nigga yesterday. Was like, hey, called that nigga. He picked up right when I called. Hey, Barron, what was that last gun you got? Oh, it was a blah 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 blah. See if they got blah 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 blah. And that's how it should be. Like you can argue with people, but hey, I'm calling you. Like
all them calls. Nobody called me.
For what? We know you was microwave shopping.
You was knee deep in microwaves.
When I was microwave shopping, you was cutting grass, and you managed to get to them.
Well, I knew you was just gonna bring out your little book that you just bought out and write down dates, and like you was just at the club last week. I'm not going, so there you go. Exactly, that right there is exactly.
We definitely did some shit you weren't gonna do. We went to Bass Pro Shop, which is inside. We went to DJ house and went inside a club.
All three of y'all with the DJ house.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yep.
Oh, Todd ain't never came.
What you finna do after the pod, Todd? Nah, but for real, man, I really do appreciate y'all, man. We closing in on the 100th episode, man, the 2-year anniversary of the Dummies Podcast, and we still ticking and going. I have been doing so much for like the last week. I have been going back through so many different clips and videos, just clicking on it. Y'all niggas is stupid. Y'all niggas is funny, and y'all niggas is informative. I really believe it. And I know it's something to be said about us doing this, coming up on 2 years, man. And as we get closer and closer, I'm going to keep talking about it. We got the business pumping. We got merch sites going on the dummies.com, man, and participate. We just doing it different, man. We're going to continue to do it different because that's what we do here. We building this shit a lot different for other people. We're not just here for fun. We here for fun, but it's also a business for us, too. So
I'm going to cry.
Yeah, right, bitch.
And also, man, I know we had a lot of black-white talk, man, but white people, we like y'all. We actually hung out with y'all last night on the roof at the Grand Bohemian. Y'all cool people. And we can hang out with y'all. We just want y'all to feel the same.
Yes, white people. It's some good white people. It's some good cops. Like if a cop speak to me, a white, black, whatever, I'm going to speak back. Like, I don't hate just all cops. But I hate the cops that kill people for no reason.
Y'all know how many times the police pull by in my community no more, and I don't be scared of their ass no more.
My little beat cops. Yeah, I speak to them all the time.
Right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to say that people shouldn't be. Like, come on, don't. Like, hey, I get it. I understand why people scared of them. And if the motherfuckers pull me over, that little hey wave gonna get me scared too. Goddamn. 10 and 2.
I don't think I'm scared of them, but I ain't fucking with them. I ain't about to run
10 and
off.
2. They pull me over 10 and 2. If I'm standing in my driveway, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable if I'm watering my grass.
No, you're right.
But it just I don't know, man. It's fucked up. But I can't wait to pod in person, nigga.
It's gonna happen.
All right, in person.
It's gonna happen.
Any other things we gotta add?
No.
All right. We'll be back next week like we never left, because like we say every week, we never leave. You dig?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get some guns and shit.
That's free.
Got to bitch you. Oh, well, I'm
Dummy.